Bliss Bunnies, Melanie here, Experiments in Bliss. I wanted to talk to you today about something that is really, really lighting me up right now. And it has before, and I'm sure it will again and continue to do so, but it feels really, really potent for me right now. So it seemed like a good time to sort of share it with you and to piece it out loud for myself as well. So today I want to talk a little bit about how I've been using the law of attraction to get myself out of a funk and get myself back in a state of powerful creation, of being able to manifest what it is that I want in my life at this time. And I think it's both interesting and ironic that these are lessons that I continue to learn in this interesting cyclical sort of way. But the more I keep coming back to it, and the more I get that tangible evidence of how powerful I can be in my own life in creating the reality that I'm looking for, that I'm really desiring, it becomes a little bit easier with each time. So over the last year and a half, I've done a ton of reading from different proponents of the law of attraction, different ways of approaching it, different ways of working with it, different ways of understanding it. The source that most specifically resonates for me and most consistently resonates for me is the voice of Abraham as spoken through Esther Hicks. And it's funny because a friend of mine gave me the Law of Attraction audiobook by Esther and Jerry Hicks, also by Abraham. Wow, probably 15 years ago. And at the time, I guess I just wasn't quite ready for it. I didn't understand the whole Abraham concept. I was just really closed to it. I wasn't ready for it. And now, all these years later, finally I get it. Finally I'm able to receive it. I have apparently traveled my road in such a way that's allowed me to finally open up to this information, to this gift, really, and to receive it. And I'm really grateful for that because it is huge for me. So there are a lot of different ways of interpreting this information. I suppose as many ways as there are people interpreting it, which I guess is true for everything. But for me, the thing that's really been working for me most lately, the thing that I've most been finding magic with, for me, where I am right now, is this idea of releasing resistance through using my emotions to find relief, to find the easiest, most joyful, most loving emotion in any given moment, in any given circumstance that I can possibly find. It doesn't have to be solution-oriented, and in fact, oftentimes it's better if it's not solution-oriented, if I'm not coming from a mental state of how can I fix this problem, or how can I surmount this obstacle, or how can I create this thing that I want that I don't see the steps for how to get there. How do I do that? Rather than focusing on the how to get from where I don't want to be to where I do want to be, which of course puts the focus on the gap between the two. What I'm working with doing is just finding a way to feel good where I am. And it sounds so simple and so easy, and it is in many, many ways. But I think the way most of us have been conditioned in this life is in the complete opposite manner, where we do tend to focus on the things that we don't want, and we do tend to see the challenges and want to overcome the challenges. So we put our focus there, rather than focusing on what it is we want, and the joy of what it will be like to receive that. So yeah, that's really what I've been focusing on. I was visiting with a new friend yesterday, and we actually were having a really in-depth, open discussion about a little bit about the law of attraction, but also just about personal growth and finding our way of being expansive beings in the world and being contributing beings in the world. And one of the things that we were talking about is this idea of where we put our focus in circumstances. And my friend gave an example of feeling sad when she was finished reading a really good book, or feeling sad when a good friend moved away. That those all felt really sad for her, those endings. And she felt that it was important to honor the loss and honor the sadness there. And while I get that, and while I appreciate that, that way of looking at things, what I was hearing, that she was focusing on the fact that the book was finished rather than celebrating the incredible experience she had with this book, and focusing on the loss of the friendship as she knows it when her friend moved away, rather than celebrating the amazing friendship that she was able to cultivate and the gift of that, and how it might be opening up to an entirely new but equally awesome or even better relationship in a different, under different parameters. And it was really interesting for us both to sort of sit with that and recognize that. And even though I'm able to see it now, it's still very new for me. And I feel like it's something that we often don't see as much of in our environments, in the imprinting that happens as we are being formed as humans. We don't see as much of the celebration of what's really awesome in life. We're so focused on fixing problems rather than celebrating what's working. So that's something that is really becoming hugely important for me, and is really creating some really interesting and exciting flow in my life now. I have gone from feeling really not really depressed. I wasn't quite in a depression, but feeling really low, feeling in a funk, in a rut, feeling uninspired and apathetic, and also feeling like everything was a bit of a struggle as I was settling into this new experience in this new town. And suddenly, when I was able to reconnect with those teachings and that understanding, reconnect with that use of emotional guidance, things just started lightening up and feeling easier. And I noticed that things are sort of falling into place a little more easily, and without my having to think about them or having to worry about them. And as a result of that, I started feeling better. And as I was feeling better, that was happening even more. So it's a prime example of the law of attraction, like attracting to like. As I was feeling better, I had more cause to feel better. And previously, as I was feeling not so great, I had more cause to feel not so great. So this is something that Abraham Hicks calls using your emotional guidance system. And basically, the simple premise is When you're feeling good, you're in alignment with what you want. You're in a state of vibrational being that is going to call to you more of what you desire and more of what will bring you joy and contentment. If you are in a state where you feel not so great, or even just kind of mediocre, that is a clue to you that you're not in alignment with what you want, but you're setting up a vibrational situation in which you're going to invite more of that mediocrity or more of that dis-ease into your life. So really being present with your emotions, really getting to know who you are and how you feel and how you can participate in the process of how you feel is huge and incredibly powerful. And it's just been making such a huge difference in my life. It's simple, simplistic, in that there's not a lot of complex parts that you need to work with to be able to do this. What you do have to be able to do is be present with yourself and be aware. And for me, I needed to be willing to let go of that struggle. And to be honest, I think I had a little bit of an addiction to the struggle. I felt really comfortable with the struggle because I'd been there for so long. It felt a little strange to be floating out in contentment land. But I encourage you, if it feels at all resonant for you, to give it a try. If you're feeling stuck somewhere, see if you can find some way of feeling just a little bit of relief in that area of your life. It doesn't have to be finding a solution. You don't have to feel happy about being there. But if you can feel a little bit better than you do in any given moment, finding some way to find relief, even if it's not even surrounding that particular situation, even if you find something else to be joyful about and focus your attention there. It doesn't matter. It's just finding some sense of relief in your current moment, in your current experience. And see what doors open up for you. See if it works for you the way it has for me and the way it has for countless other people. I'd be really interested in hearing your story if you have already experienced some of that positive reinforcement, or if you start to experience it, if you give it a try and experience, I would love to hear from you. So you could leave me comments below. You could shoot me an email. Whatever works for you would be great. And hopefully we can find our way to really start harnessing our own power and really start actively participating in the manifestation of our dreams, because it really is possible. It really is possible. And I wish that for me, and I wish that for you, and I wish that for all of us on this beautiful planet. So that said, I'm going to go create a beautiful day for myself, and I hope you do the same. And I'll be back with you soon, sending love and light as always. Have a great day. Happy experimenting.